Oh, hello. I'm just trying to run through a couple of lessons here. This is all made up on the spot. You know, these things to be rehearsed is, I just don't have enough time for that. I know the knowledge, so let's just get to it. My previous lesson was basic chord structure. We went through the 1, 3, and 5. If you don't know that part of the theory of the chord structure, go back and listen to that lesson. But if you have, or if you do know that, let's go on. I'm just going to browse and go through the some of the extended chords. Real simple, like the 7th, the major 7th. I kind of got a cheat sheet. I'm gonna keep looking at my monitor because I kind of wrote this down. I am a human. I'm not a robot. I don't have a photographic memory or anything, so I got to look at this stuff. All right, so we're going to go through the 7th, the major 7th, the minor 7th, and the major minor 7th. Actually, been a while since I played some of these chords. So this would be a good example of just how to figure out these chords. One of the things I remember is in jazz band. If you're in a high school jazz band, odds are, if you're like me, you may not know how some of these chords go because you'll see all these symbols and these major, minor, and this and this and that. And I had a guitar instructor that would just show me the chords, but he wouldn't tell me how to make the chords. I think it is very, 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 to the utmost, very important to know how to make these chords. It's the same thing with, giving somebody a fish or teaching them how to fish. If you know how to fish, then you know how to get anything you want. This sound, I apologize, I'm conversing with my good friend on Facebook in between me doing a couple of videos. But, nonetheless, I ain't going to distract this video from me getting to him. Alright, but here we go. The 1, 3, and 5. A C chord. Alright, let's just go to the 7th chord. Now, if you're reading a chord chart, or if you hear somebody say C7, I don't know who made this rule up, but you automatically assume, and it's a fact that if there's one case of assuming, this is the case that it's okay to assume that it's a flat 7 chord. In normal, you have a scale, right? You have a C scale. We're going back a little bit. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, if you remember, the 1, 3, and 5 made up the major chord, and the 7th chord, you have the 1, you have the 3, and the 5. Those 3 are your basis for some of these chords. And then you add a 7. Now, if you were in the right mind and you've done the right math, you would think the letter B because it's the 7th note. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Oh, B. We just add a B and we have a C7. But somebody couldn't count, I guess, back in the Greek times, or wherever that occurred, but it's automatically a flat 7. So if you take a B and you go down a half step, a piano, for whatever reason, seems to be an easy instrument to picture some of these notes. Picture a B on the piano. If you can't read a piano or don't know the piano keys, even if you're a guitar player, go learn the piano. You don't have to play Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 or anything from the Woody Woodpecker Show, but just know how to read the notes on the piano because it's all laid out and it's plain and simple, a little bit better than guitar actually. So you take the B and you go down a half step, but if you're on the guitar, simplicity stakes, you go down 1 fret. So you add a B flat. So back to the 7th chord, you don't add a B, you add a B flat. That's the guy's mistake that I've been talking about. Not mistake, but whoever decided that rule. So instead of you play you add a B flat, you add a flat 7, so you count to that. So you count to that 7th note, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and you go down a half step, and that's B flat. Okay? So you have these bluesy chords, right? That bluesy sound, and that's a C7 chord. Okay, so these formulas are what you're aiming for. As long as you know these formulas and your key signatures, you know how to make up any chord, really, as long as you know the formula and the key. So a C7. So if somebody says, hey, play a C7, you know it, bang. Or let's say, hey, somebody tells you to play, hey, play a C7, and you know the C up here, and all you know is, oh, you have to add a B flat. Where's a B flat on this Get fiddle? Oh, here's one, and here's a C, here's a G, and we need an E. You know, do whatever you want, really. That's not practical, but if you have a keyboard player and a bass player, then you might just play. That's another whole lesson and a caboodle in itself. But these formulas, it's just like making a salad. If somebody wants a chef salad, or if somebody wants, I don't know my salads, a shish kebab Australian salad, as long as you know the recipe, that's all it takes. As long as you know that formula. Is it the first note, the third note, fifth note, flat seventh note? And you got the C7. These things are turning out to where I might have to make a lesson per chord. But, all right, let's just take it. All right, now that we're on that step, hang with me, hang with me. Now let's go to a C major 7. Now that's what we're talking about. Now you add the B instead of the B flat. Now you got the, you have a almost like a suspended type of sound, but not quite. Man, my guitar is out of tune. I apologize for that. But instead of the flat 7, you add the 7. Let's take a G, for example. Here's a G7. And here's a G major 7. Let me tune my guitar. There's just that one string. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to whip through these. I'm not going to do any editing. And what you hear is what you get. You know, I just don't have time to do my professional stuff. Okay, so major 7. You add the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 7. Okay, so if we were on C, you would add a B and not a B flat like in minor or like in 7. Okay, that's a C. Here's your major 7. Here's another form of major 7. There's another form. There's another form. You know, there's all kinds of different forms, just like I showed you earlier. But what we're learning now is the formulas. What we got else? We got a minor 7. Now I didn't touch on minor on my previous video. I meant to, but a minor is a major change. It's the most major. Not major as a major chord, but it's the biggest change that you could make in a chord. Let's take your C. Now there's not really an exact good open chord for a C minor chord, but we'll see if we can suffice. I'm gonna play a bar chord. That's what I'm gonna do. But here's your minor or your major. Happy. Happy is just known as being happy. Happy, happy. And here's your minor. And sad. Oh, my dog got killed today. And happy. Oh, my dog is alive. Happy and sad. You have one note difference. You have a 1 and okay. So a major, you have a 1, 3, and 5. I'm going to stop explaining these steps. I'm going to stop explaining things because we're advancing along here, right? Major, you have a 1, 3, and 5. A minor, you have a 1, flat, 3, 5. We're still sticking in the key of C because it's easy. So if you go down a half step from E, that's E flat. So we have C, D, E is a major. And we have C, D, E flat is a minor. And here's my E flat. Okay. A minor major 7. That's a mixture between the couple that we've been talking before. Can you guess? Let's hear you guess. We've covered minor and we've covered major 7. Minor, we add the flat 3rd, and the major 7, we add the major 7, which is the regular 7. So major 7, we talked about adding a B, right, on C, on the key of C. And then the minor, we talked about instead of instead of the E, I almost said major 3rd. I'm trying to stick within the regime. instead of a E, we flat the thirds, which makes it E flat. So we added two notes. We added the flat third and we added the major 7, which is the B. So we have this: C, E flat, G, and B. Alright, that's enough for now. I imagine it's probably been 10 minutes long. I have no idea. Just trying to rush through these. And the next lesson will be, I'm going to do some drop D tuning stuff. And there's an extreme song called Midnight Express that I've done several times. But I just kind of want to go over it and how you can jam and use your strings, your open strings on an acoustic. I'm just kind of playing acoustic right now because my electrics could put away and acoustic's pretty easy to get out and everything. And go over some of that stuff. I'll check you out. Rock on. If you have any questions, email me, please. I am great to contact. I'm great getting back to contact. My email is Billy, B-I-L-L-Y, at planet, like Mars, Jupiter, P-L-A-N-E-T, geek, like computer geek, because I'm a computer geek, G-E-E-K, .biz, B-I-Z, not com, not whatever, but biz, B-I-Z. I'll check you out.